Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Puzzled Minds podcast. We are joined again today by none other than the great Emily, and she is the owner of the clothing store LOL Dying. So please give her a warm welcome back for the third, fourth time. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Who
Me
it is.
again.
So she'll be helping us with the questions. Well, today's topic is brought to you by letter Q for questions. Today we'll be answering the internet's weirdest questions as well as questions that users have submitted. And she'll be answering them as well. So, Emily, take it
Yeah.
away.
Well, we're going to start off with some of my own questions. I am the self-proclaimed host of today's episode. Take that however you want. Uh, so I started compiling a list of questions that I wanted to ask, and I figured that I would start asking questions kind of to get to know you guys so that all your listeners can kind of know a little bit about you and who you are and just like some funny things about you as well as some interesting things. And then I thought we would get into some really like spicy questions or some questions that are interesting or will kind of mess with your head or whatever. Is that cool?
Yeah. So let me put a disclaimer here. I've seen the questions, but I haven't thought about them. Like I just copied and pasted them for anyone that submitted them, so I haven't really thought about them. Just
And
FYI,
nobody has
so
seen my questions.
yeah. So there's a
I
disclaimer.
compiled my list of my very own questions while mildly intoxicated at the pool the other day. So I think that there should be some good ones in here.
Okay, let's get it.
Okay. And of course, you guys have the right to pass on any question. Some of them are a little
Around here.
spicy and personal. So if you need to, I can respect that.
I'm an open book. I'm willing to count myself as this podcast.
Will you die
All
for
right.
the podcast?
If you're up for the challenge, let's see what I wrote down. Okay. My first question. John, I've asked you this question before. It's my favorite question to ask anybody. If a song played every time that you walked into a room, what would it be? So what I mean by that is every time you opened a door and entered a room, what would your entry song be? And it's okay if it's just like the chorus or like the whole song plays or whatever. It's a very personal question. So
I'll start off with this because I actually had this conversation with Emily at dinner a few nights ago. So that's the only time that I knew about the question. But she also asked me this previously. You have to think about how many times you enter a doorway. Whether that's at work or whether that's going from like the bathroom to your bedroom or your bedroom to your bathroom. Like you have to go through a door at least twice or something like that. I can't remember what it was. So
I mean, I walk through doors all day long.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you go through different doors and you'll be have to hearing that at least I would say 20 plus times a day.
I also feel like that's a slow death. You're just going to go insane over and over again.
To me, I'm thinking more like you're entering a room of people. So like every time you're arriving at a party or a dinner or a restaurant or work, but not every time you walk into the bathroom.
So I actually asked this question to Emily. So what happens with like with Black Friday shopping when everyone goes into
John, you're ruining the fucking question, bro.
No, because then you're gonna have
John.
a million other songs playing. Like that's not.
Well, we've
not
already
much,
solved
man.
that problem with coronavirus. We have line control now. People come in one at a time.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm putting my foot
I
down.
think that Black Friday is canceled. Okay, just answer the question, John.
Okay. So I'm gonna cop out and I'm gonna say it's not gonna be a typical stereotypical lyrical song, but more so of a lo-fi beat song.
Okay, cool. That's very John of you.
Yes.
Next.
For people who want to know, it's Sequences by Monma. No, I'm sorry. Snaps by Monma. Sorry. There you go.
Gosh, I feel like I should have queued some songs up or asked you guys ahead, but this is the only one that I would need that for. What about you, Tadua?
For whatever reason, I've been obsessed with kind of like 90s songs. And also I'm a pretty unbeknownst to me, I realize I'm a pretty dramatic person. Like everything I do just turns out to be extra. So I'm going to go with the 90s X-Men song. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah,
The guitar riff.
cartoon one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like, I'm pretty sure every time I walk into a party, that would be it. It'd annoy the fuck out of everybody. And I'd probably get thrown out of the party too. So
That's actually a
mine
pretty
would
good one.
too. Mine would too. I'm really surprised that you had an answer so quickly. That's why I asked this one first because I wanted to be like on your feet if you could. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people like this is a hard decision. A lot of people take forever, and some people are like, I can't even answer. I have no idea. But I've asked this question for years, and I've known my answer for years. Am I answering these questions too, or can I? Am I?
Yeah, go, of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Mine is Space Jam.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just because I think that is such a pop and entry song. Think about every time you walked into like work, you know, welcome to the space. Every single time,
I
like,
can go to a funeral and your
okay,
grandpa died, bro. What?
okay, fuck. I never thought about that scenario. Maybe there are scenarios you can opt out.
Yeah.
But
No, you gotta stick with it 100%. So no matter what's going on, you gotta
Walk
hit
in
the
there and
Space
turn up
Jam.
that funeral.
I
Everybody's
know,
gonna get lit.
I know.
okay,
Get
I
that
have my next
energy.
question. Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
next one.
This
Let's do
one's a
it.
little spicier.
All right.
What's something that you will never tell your parents you did?
Oh. All right, Johnny, want to take this one?
Um, it's probably the night that I threw up 10 times.
Oh God, John,
Yeah.
you should have never told me that.
The hospital, dude. Are you okay? Jeez.
No, it's
Why you're so skinny? What the hell?
let me preface it that it was a very adventurous night. Let's just say that.
How
And
old were you?
23.
Okay, you were in your 20s. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's
Yeah, something like that, 23-ish. Um, but of those 10 times, I actually like puked on a table in the strip club, and then I covered the puke with
Oh,
some plates that were filled with food. So
John.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then I think I did it in the bathroom too.
Oh, God bless the busboy who had to
Yeah,
clean it up.
and I never showed my face in there again. So
I would hope so.
so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I'm ashamed of you for your parents. Tadiwa, you're up.
All right. Well, mine's also a booze related one. But I remember, was it 2 years ago in Cancun? I remember it was my friend and I, RIP, passed away actually going on 2 years ago. But at the time, we had these wristbands that pretty much gave us access to unlimited alcohol throughout the entire hotel. So you know how that kind of went. So we wake up, start drinking, food, drink, all that stuff, right? So I'm infinity amount of shots in, and I just remember music is playing in our hotel room. For whatever reason, I had spilled something on the carpet, and in my like incredibly inebriated brain, I'm like, "Who spilled something on the carpet?" I just got really mad about it because I'm like, "This carpet, that's the whole point of this room, to center of the room. The room's ruined." So I grab the carpet and I throw it out the window. Literally throw the whole carpet out the window. Mind you, we're on like the fourth story of this hotel. So funny thing about it, maybe like an hour or two later, my friend said he was looking out the window and like one of the like hotel maintenance guys was just like looking around, wondering where this like wine stained carpet came from. And he just my friend's looking down, he looks up, they lock eye contact, and he's just like, he knew it had to come from this room. So I was just like, you know what? That's something I'd probably never ever tell my mom. She'd be like, "You fucking animal."
Did
She already
anything
hates
happen?
all things alcohol.
Oh, Lord.
Did anything happen? Like, did they come and knock on your door?
It was like, honestly, I think they're just kind of like fucking dumb Americans, just of course coming here like it's a National Lampoon situation. So
Yeah.
the kid was just
I feel
thoroughly
like the eye
confused. Like,
contact was probably a moment where he was like, I understand. Like,
you
I
guys
always,
are doing
I,
it looks
I always
pretty fun.
think like locking eyes is kind of like a visual contract. You're like, hey, if you're like looking to do something and then you look at someone, you're like, hey, that's a visual contract. Like you and I we're in this together now.
yeah, you give them the look.
Yeah, you
You're
know what I'm
straight up
saying?
Everyone knows
confused.
and has their own look.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that big of a carpet. That's the problem. It wasn't like it was a massive carpet. It was just like a tiny little rug, but it bothered me. And we had a big room, but I was like,
Okay,
gotta go.
Tadiwa, was it the bath mat? Yes or no?
It was a little bit bigger than a bath mat.
Okay.
A little bit bigger.
Um,
Care
I'm
to
hating
share, Emily?
yeah, I'm hating myself for these questions. Mine's so much worse than yours.
Hmm.
I have two, but I'm only going to share one. So, my parents. So mine was yours was when you guys were like adults. Mine was when I was like a kid, and I would have gotten in trouble. So my parents used to like have a trace on my phone and my computer and everything. I'm sure they still do. I don't know. Is it embarrassing to say they still pay my phone bill? Whatever.
Hey, look, it's
I don't know.
2020.
I don't care if they're following me now, like, because what are they gonna do? I live in a different state. But so they used to have a trace on my phone in my car. So I used to sneak out, bury my phone in the yard in case someone called or something happened and it like started buzzing. And then
Bury your
instead of
phone, like shovel, dig a hole and bury.
oh well, I had a really specific hole that was already there. I just moved some rocks
Oh,
and put it under the rocks.
This is
And
getting
then
interesting.
instead of taking my car, I would specifically leave my keys in a place that like I very obviously didn't go anywhere. Whereas I usually like it probably was more obvious that I was obviously leaving them out. And then I would steal my dad's car and
What?
take it wherever I wanted to go because he drives, not so much anymore, but he drove so often that he would never know how many miles were in his car. Whereas my mom kept very close track of the miles on her car because my brother and I were known for driving around her bougie Mercedes without permission.
Mm.
this is very
Wait,
elaborate. I'm not gonna lie to you. For a kid to be sitting there doing this whole like Mission Impossible thing you got going on,
Well, most parents aren't as strict as my parents were. So like most kids could just like walk out the door and if they got caught sneaking out, it would be like, okay, you're grounded for a week. If I got caught sneaking out, it would be the end. In fact, I had been caught sneaking out and it was the end. It was so bad.
so wait, so why didn't you put the keys in the hole then also?
Because I wanted, if they woke up, I wanted them to see that the keys were
Oh,
like on the table and I wasn't gone, so they wouldn't even check the garage.
oh, okay. Okay.
And then the other thing I did was I left every night I left on different lights, very specific lights, so that when I came back home, I would remember which lights I had, or I would take a picture of the house from the outside so that when I pulled back up in the driveway, if any of the lights were different, I would know if someone was awake or someone had woken up and walked around the house and turned off or on other lights
yo, I
before I
respect
went
your
inside.
determination not into getting caught. Like that is incredible. Like
And
most kids,
so then I would
love to
find
do that.
another way inside. I would either go in through like the high window in the basement or the screened-in porch, and I would just. So there were a couple nights where I went in through the screen-in porch, and someone had been in the living room, and I didn't know if they were still there. So I went in the screen-in porch. I turned on the TV with the brightness all the way down, and I just slept there. And then they would find me in the morning. I'd be like, "Oh, I just fell asleep out here."
So
Damn,
essentially, if we need a bank heist,
exactly. Shit,
For
Emily.
real.
I'm
we're
about to
going
call
down.
Emily. I'm
Let
about
me
to
tell you,
rob.
kids with strict parents can sneak around and finesse like no other.
Mm. Do you think that bank heist people or have had strict parents?
Maybe. I feel like bank heist people have other issues, like
Mm.
financial issues, or
Yeah.
like I don't know, issues when succeeding, and they
Mm.
just
I've
want
always
to.
said that like the only job I could do if there was a job I could do that requires me to have a life of crime, I could do the Ocean's 11 the whole gig, like robbing casinos and all that. I could do that shamelessly, guilt free.
Mm.
I
Is it
was like,
because they're casinos?
I feel like because casinos take advantage of people, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just taking
Uh,
advantage of people, organization that's taking advantage of people. I could, if you guarantee me no one get killed. Also, the no killing thing is also a big rule. Got to have the Batman rule going on, where it's like no one dies in the process. Like I could 100% rob casinos. I don't care if they bankrupt the people that owns them. Who gives a shit? I
mm,
could rob them easily. But I'd have to be like, it has to be Ocean's 11 style, not just walk in there with like semi-automatics and be like, let's party.
mm.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a couple like really like rapid fire, easy to answer ones really quick.
All right.
Are we cool with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll try not to get too.
Just because I want to have some that are like quick answers. Some
Yeah.
are really good for conversation, like the last couple, but these are good ones. Okay, what was your dream job as a kid?
I think I just wanted to be a chef. I don't know why. Oh no. That was recent. Tita, where you go? I got to think about this for a second.
I know as a kid, I for some reason I just thought I was going to be in the NFL by like 26. Like I 100% this is like, yep, I got to be in the NFL. Like there's no other plan.
Not
This was
I
when I was
gotta
like,
be, I'm
okay,
gonna be.
I'm going. Yeah, like this is the plan. I was like, I didn't even worry about. I thought I was gonna be married by like 30, like retired by like 35. I don't know what I thought, but I was really into football as a kid. So I was like NFL and play video games.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that I was going to be married straight out of high school. True Indiana girl right here.
I think mine. Now I'm thinking about it. I think I wanted to be something with like video game, like a video game designer or something like that, because that's all that I fucking did. Like in high school, I just played video games, and so I was like, you know what, I can do this for the rest of my life. But
The most John answer I've ever heard. Actually, that's like a Martin answer. Mine is when I was a kid. I only know this because I wrote it on a piece of paper and put it in a time capsule when I was 5. I, true to my Indiana roots, I wanted to grow up to be a farmer.
Damn.
Yeah, we just did
Most girls want to be like a
episode.
ballerina.
Oh yeah.
Want to
I
tend to
want
the
to be.
land.
Yeah, you got to, man.
Oh,
The farm lives, man. It's a lot. It's a lot hard. From what we recently had
Heard of it.
yeah, it's a lot of work that I don't think um
A lot of people have an appreciation for.
yeah, let's just say that.
yeah. Okay, I'm ready for my next one. Are you?
Yep.
Fired it off.
Okay, what's the weirdest thing you're afraid of? Like, not the biggest fear, but the strangest, like, no reason for being afraid of it.
No reason. Okay. So for me, I don't like sleeping with. So for example, if there's something like I don't like sleeping with doors open. I always feel like someone's on the other side. Like I'll check like 100%, close the door, open it again, close it. Just because I think I've watched too many like horror movies that have just been imprinted in my brain, and I always feel like the second you close the door, for whatever reason, that's when the demon, the monster, the murderer is be
Mm,
like, all right, it's a good time to come out. So
So you
whenever I'm
keep
like,
doors open.
no, I don't sleep with doors open. I close them.
Oh, I'm the opposite, but for the same reason.
oh,
Oh, really? I just
Yeah.
feel like if I'm gonna, I feel like I don't want to make it easy for them. Like if even my closet, this applies to my closet as well too. I don't. That shit has to stay closed too. Like
Oh
I
my gosh,
just,
I want all the doors open because I want if someone comes in through my front door, I want to see them from my bed. Like I want to be able to know.
I want to hear it open,
yeah,
so at
I
least I
want to
have
hear
time
it
to
open.
process like I'm gonna die, not just open my eyes and bam, like what's up?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's my
can't do that.
logic too. I don't
Yeah.
I'd rather because as weird as it sounds, you would want a creaky door in that instance. Like most doors, you're like, fuck man, I don't want to hear a creaky door. But
Wait,
for
so
this
can I tell
particular
you what I do that's different but the same?
Yeah, go ahead.
I put like little glass things in the window, so if anyone opened the window, it would fall or it
You
would
do?
break.
what about the
Will
door
you do that
though? Oh
now?
well the door I guess is
So
open.
I live with someone and there's a dog here, but like when I lived alone in like the hood of Charlotte, yeah, I
Yeah,
used to put a stool, like a very, very fragile wooden stool, like laying down in front of my door.
that's
And
smart.
the space was really small. So if someone tried to open the door, they probably wouldn't be able to unless they really tried to force it. But if they forced it, the stool would break and it would be so loud that I would wake up. And then I would
Mhm.
just sit there and panic alone in my room. But at least I would know.
Still die, but at least you know you're about to die.
At least I would have full awareness. But
Exactly.
mine's really weird too. So my biggest fear, for no reason, like my biggest weirdest fear, is being trapped in a trash compactor.
Hmm.
I don't know why. Like, why
Yeah,
would I
that's
ever
really
be in
bad.
that situation? I don't know. But trash
Good
compactors are
one though.
so gross is the first part, and then not being able to get out and like knowing that I'm slowly being crushed. Ah,
Yeah, that one because that one you have time to feel your death, like your legs being smushed and gone. If you're in leg first, of course, like you would feel like all that until obviously you got to like your chest and like face.
right. And so that's what's so interesting is you immediately said legs. I've had other people immediately say like you could feel it in your ears, and for me it's my shoulders. Like the moment I would feel my shoulders being crushed in.
Especially because it's like the space in
And my
between each shoulder.
yeah,
It has to
and
really.
like my ribs. Like I just
Yeah,
couldn't. I'm very claustrophobic, so I just couldn't do that. You
this is
know.
no good. Mm-mm.
But again, like, why would I ever be in that situation? Like, it's my biggest fear. I don't know. I don't know. Not my biggest fear. My weirdest fear.
So
What about you, John?
mine is not as um gloomy as that one. Mine is just leaving the door unlocked.
Motherfucker. Okay,
You're
John.
afraid of?
Wow.
No, yeah, for real. Because like I'm always like, fuck, man. If I leave the door open, then like someone can come in, or
I've done that before. Like I
That's
remember
what
in
I'm
like my
saying.
old
I
apartment, I
don't.
did that. This one time I left my door open. Like the door was open to the hallway.
Oh, please. One
No,
time I left my door to my car open and the car on. And my friend, it was in high school. And I was honestly, I was high as shit. My friend came
Yeah.
in and threw my keys on my desk and was like, "Your car was on, man." And I was like, "Oh
No,
shit."
no.
You
I'm
just
the type of
donated your
person.
car and let the murderer come in.
Yeah, no. See, and I do that with my groceries too. I always close my door in case someone fucking steals something for my groceries that I fucking had to go get. But also for my like door. to like anywhere. Like I always have, I'm like, shit, did I lock that? I always have to like double check it. I'll be in the car and I'll be like, wait, did I lock it? And I'll go back upstairs and make sure that I locked it.
I have driven back to my house, but that was when I lived in an unsafe area. I have driven back to my house to make sure my door was locked.
Yeah, so
But
that's my
I kind of just, I don't know. Like, I'm one of those people. I'm a bit lazy. Like, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
if my door is locked, I'm like, well, this. Hopefully, they leave me something.
No, I have a son at home, a dog son, so I can't do that. I can't have that on my conscience.
Mhm.
All
okay,
right.
here's a really interesting one. Is it normal to pick your nose?
I think it's just as normal as farting, I think personally.
Yeah, I think it's
You?
pretty. Yeah, it's pretty normal.
I'm pretty sure everyone picks their nose. If they don't pick their nose, they're lying.
Yeah.
That's quite a
Everyone
lot.
freaking does
Yeah.
it. There's shit in there, and you can't always blow it out. Like, I'm sorry, but everyone picks their freaking nose.
It's one of the things that you would, if people will accept that you do and won't be like, oh, you're gross. It's not like you're digging in your ass. Like, if you dig in your ass, you have to lie about it. You have to, because that makes you a disgusting person. If you
Well, but
pick
I
your
mean,
nose,
like, picking your nose, at least do it in private. Like,
So
You know?
even if you
so
do it in
hold up,
public,
hold up,
I'm
hold up,
not going
hold
to be
up.
like, oh. But if you dig in your ass and public, that's a whole different thing.
So are there etiquettes towards different holes? Like, do different holes have different standards? Like you said,
Yeah.
like picking your asshole is very bad, but if you pick your nose, like they're like,
Let's
that's kind of gross, but
look
whatever. Like
based
those,
off what you can do in public, and people won't be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You can
okay,
dig in
that's
your ear in
fair.
public.
Because I feel like you can also, as far as hole picking, ew, I hate saying that. As far as that, you can even include things like using a Q-tip or rubbing your eyes or picking your teeth.
or like picking your belly button.
Okay,
Belly button's
gross.
a bit of a weird one. I don't know why, because belly button has almost like a oddly sexual vibe to it. It's just
What
like,
the fuck
yeah,
is sexual
go ahead and
vibe?
get that
It
wing on my
does. It
belly.
does. Here's
It has
why.
a
That is
weird
where
vibe.
you were connected to someone as a result of your birth. Like it. I agree. It's got a weird sex thing.
Like, I
Is it
don't know
because
why,
you're
but
showing skin? Is that why?
I don't know.
Kind of like a midriff kind of thing going on, but like,
just because it's been ruined by other people that have made it perverse. Like,
mm,
there's a vibe to it where it's just kind of like, I don't know, like you just picture like a fat country guy with like, like a button up, and then it's like kind of split at the belly button. He's just like, oh, I got something in there. Why don't you get it out, then, boy? And then he's kind of looking at you, licking his lips. Like that whole vibe is associated with that one act.
Oh
But
my
if you
God.
dig in your nose, it's like, all right, well, whatever. You just don't give a fuck, right? You dig in
No.
your ear, you don't give
digging
a
for
fuck.
digging for gold, I guess. That's
Yeah,
what we
whatever.
can say.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm moving on.
yeah. It's getting weird.
What? This one's a little bit spicier. Caliente meter for sure.
It's off the charts.
Off the charts. Broken the caliente meter. Actually, not quite broken. What is the worst thing that somebody has ever done to you?
Like in terms of like hurting your feelings or just
Yeah.
like
Just at all. What comes to your mind? Anything. Worst thing that someone's ever done to you. It could be physically harming you. It could be like throwing you under the bus. It could be hurting your feelings or just whatever.
worst thing anyone's ever done to me.
I kind of have to think about this. I get fucked over a lot.
Damn, you got a list? Shit. To be honest, like the worst thing anyone's ever done. Honestly, it's probably gonna be some like hurting my feelings shit. Like I know. I don't honestly. I just can't really think of it. It's gonna sound like so childish, but like just like lying to me, lying knowing it's gonna hurt my feelings. Like I can't think
No,
of
that's a
anything.
big one. Being lied
Yeah.
to freaking sucks.
Yeah, like I've been like lied to, before, like lied to. And the person
I know
who told
mine.
me.
Okay, keep going. Sorry,
I
I
know
just had
that's
an epiphany.
honestly I don't have a good one for this one. Like, go ahead though.
No, I want to hear John's first. I'll go last.
I mean, I think mine's is very similar to Diva's. I think it's the whole lying thing. So
Don't you guys have like a story?
I don't. That's the thing. I can't. I'm gonna probably think about it like later.
Yeah, maybe it
During
would
our
be added for
afterthoughts?
like an addendum that we'll have to add to this. So
Okay, this just came to me. I don't know why it just came to me, but I have a really, really good one.
Okay.
Do we have time for this? Yeah, it'll only take me a couple minutes. Okay, so I obviously was born in Indiana, but I moved to Charlotte when I was 19. I moved with a guy who I was in a very, very serious relationship with. Details of which I won't get into. And before we moved, like months before we moved, I say months, but I mean like a couple months. I was on vacation with my family, and I used to be an art student, so I was at this art show with my grandpa. And it was like I was so in my element. I was having like the best day, and I just hadn't heard from him all day, which like whatever. I'm not like obsessively communicating with the person I'm in a relationship with. Now because of this, I'm a little more like, oh, talk to me a little bit, but like whatever. And so randomly while I'm at this art show, like really in my element, like having a great day with my grandpa and my cousin who's like 10, like I was having a great time. He texts me and he just says, I moved out today. And that's it. No other context. And I
Whoa.
had, yeah, that's it. No context, no explanation. And I was like, and I like panicked. So I have a really extreme anxiety disorder. So I flipped out and I was like, we have to go right now. And I like shut down. My grandpa, I was like, we have to go, give me the keys. I'm like, I have to drive home right now. We have to go back to the house. And he was like, something's wrong. You cannot drive. So he took my cousin home. And as soon as my cousin got out of the car, he looked at me. He's like, well, what's going on? I was like, I just need to go home. I can't talk about it. I called him. Nothing. All
So
he had
this
to
dude
say.
essentially broke up with you and just moved out, no explanation.
Right. Like we had a lease together. Like we had a life together. There was a lot going on. Like it wasn't like, I mean, everything was normal. Like it was so out of left field. It was so weird. So that really sucked. Anyway, he came back in 3 weeks
What?
because I'm the best and he missed me and he realized that what the hell did I do? We moved to North Carolina 2 months later, which was my mistake. That's probably the worst thing I've ever done. But then this is the best part. I say tried and I mean tried. He tried to cheat on me with a homeless girl.
A homeless
With
what?
a homeless girl. He tried to cheat on me with a homeless girl. And I say tried as in not even the homeless girl wanted him. And so yeah, that ended. And then I moved.
So how do you know that she didn't want him?
Because she's the one who told me. She was like, just so you know.
Wait, how do you communicate with the homeless? Like,
So
did you go up to her?
He doesn't drive. I mean, maybe he does now. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him in like 3 years. But he didn't drive, so I drove him everywhere. And this girl, I just like if I had a water bottle, I would like give it to her or something, you know. Like I was just nice to her. We saw her every single day because I live like 2 hours away from where I worked. So like I saw her every single day on the road. So if I had something, I would give it to her. Like we chatted at the stoplight. She was cool. I mean, I liked her. I don't know. I'm just a nice person. I'm not like out here giving homeless people money because I know there's all these stigmas about it, but whatever. But somebody else would always drive him home from work. And so his friend was all in on this, and evidently there was just a whole scheme going on. And then one day I was driving without him and she was like, just so you know, this is happening. And I approached him about it and he was like, yeah. I was like, first of all, fuck you. I do everything for you.
Damn. Well, you're better off without that motherfucker. So, fuck.
So that's the worst thing anyone's ever done to me, and I'm embarrassed that nobody else has an equally horrifying story.
Yeah, maybe
I'm
in the
sure,
addendum.
I'm
Like,
sure it's like I put it in my vault of like mental trauma. I just don't remember.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Like, I didn't think anyone had done anything that bad to me, and then remember, I was like, oh, I know.
Yeah.
And there's
Like,
so much more to it. Like, there's so many more details, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to get into it because it's just not worth it. So let's move on. You what?
There's something less traumatizing.
Yeah, let me see. I'm going to move on from the spicy stuff. Okay, this is funny. And okay, what's the dumbest thing you've ever believed?
Dumbest thing I ever believed.
Like a lie your parents told you, or something that like you just never figured out until you were much older, like a learning gap. Like, have you guys seen How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
So there's an
No.
episode about people's learning gaps and how like Robin didn't think that the North Pole was a real place, and how everyone has that one thing that they didn't know, you know?
So I'm gonna go deep on this one in terms of just like. So I wait. What was your question one more time, just so I know that I'm answering it correctly?
What's the dumbest thing you've ever believed? Or
Oh, the
not
dumbest thing.
believed or
Okay.
whatever, or thought, or like
The dumbest thing I believed is that I think that the government has our best interest in in I guess our best interest in mind.
John wins.
Yeah.
Jim Brown just got straight dark with it.
Yeah.
John
I
wins
told
the
you I was
whole
going to go deep with
episode.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's my. I was going to say religion too, but we'll
No,
save that
I
for
don't.
another one.
So I can concur, like I can agree somewhat, but I also feel like as far as religion, like I believe what I know because it's what I've learned and it's what I was
Yeah.
raised with and it's
Yeah.
what I know. But also, like, I just also believe that people need something positive to
No,
believe
I
in.
100%
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah, I think it's the purpose of it. I think is good. It's to help people believe in something and then guide them.
In
But
something good, yeah. And
yeah,
I'd
I
rather
believe
take
that.
a positive
I
end
feel
of
like I feel like the best standpoint to be in terms of like religion. I know we're going to like a little side rant here, but it's to be agnostic, right? Because if you're atheist, you're basically saying nothing exists, right? Christian or religious, you're saying that something specific exists. A guy with a giant white beard saying heaven or hell, right? I think agnostic is the smartest position to be in because you're basically saying I don't know, right? Because if you go from an atheist standpoint, I always say atheism makes no sense because even if you argue the Big Bang started everything, it's a chain reaction, explosion, right? Something has to ignite even the fuse for that whole thing to go off. So there had to be something there to start. Whatever the first being is, whether you want to call it God or not, whatever, there had to be someone there. So it makes no sense from a logical standpoint to say there's absolutely no superior power up there or some sort of, like organization that's beyond our comprehension. And then there's, the far Christian perspective that believes that Jonah was swallowed by a fish and got spat out in 3 days. That's nonsense. so,
So being Catholic, I know all the stories and stuff, and a lot of it is open to some interpretation. Like sola scriptura means by scripture alone, or by like the Bible or the book alone, which
Yeah.
means that you take everything in the Bible seriously, or like literally. Catholicism, which is how I like my religion, is
Yeah.
not sola scriptura, and it's not sola fide, which is by faith alone, like just the belief or the idea, but rather like a collection. And the reason that I continue to be Catholic and that I can practice that faith as best as I can is that it's just what I know. Like it's what I was raised with. So I guess agnostic, I guess what you're saying is completely correct because in my eyes, I was raised this way. It's what I know. It's what I believe because it's the circumstances I've been handed in life. And whatever God is out there or whatever creator or higher power is out there, I believe is a merciful God or higher power and is understanding of the fact that I was dealt these cards. This is what I believe because this is what I know. Like if I were raised in a different country with different people, like my values might be different, And I know that people grow up and they choose their own values, and I definitely have, but like I'm definitely not as conservative, right-wing extremist as my parents. But I believe if I was raised somewhere else or by different people, that I might have different beliefs or a different understanding of life, Or if I have different events happen in my life.
Yeah, and it's nothing wrong with that, and also it's good to hear that you're open to like you can update your beliefs as well too. It's not like from the get go, it's like this is 100% how you have to live, and also like shit like that. So,
well, I'm about to say something that could get me canceled. I was raised thinking that gay people were bad and wrong, and that it was not okay. Yeah. And here's the thing: it's not something that I personally believe is like the idealistic way of the world. But who the hell am I to judge? I know plenty of gay people who are some of the greatest people I know, and like it at the end of the day, my calling is to love others. And that's what the main basis of my religious beliefs is to love one another as God has loved us. So it doesn't matter who identifies as what or who thinks what or believes what. My job is not to judge them or to instruct them or to smack them over the head with the Bible. My job is to love them.
Yeah,
And
and
so,
also, I mean, you also have to look at it from a standpoint of, I know we're going on like a religious rant here, but they get to look at it from the standpoint of like, if you have, for example, if this divine being gave you a brain to choose between, whatever you want to do, it would almost seem very odd that you have the ability to do things that you're not supposed to, right?
right.
So something like, for example, sexual orientation and things of that nature, like that, there are people that are like, however they develop their sexuality, that's just how it happened for them. So it's almost saying that like people that are essentially, born gay are just born, they're going straight to hell. Like that makes no sense. That's why I always say
Right,
religion
exactly.
is up to
God's not
interpretation.
creating anyone in the likeness of the devil. Like he's creating them in the likeness of himself. So
Yeah.
people have I don't want to call it a flaw because I don't personally believe it's a flaw, but people have differences, no one's going to be exactly the same as another person. And the belief in God is the belief that God is creating people in the image of himself or in the image of goodness,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
who the hell are we to be like, well, you're just bad.
So, all right.
But so anyway,
Anyway, guys,
what's the dumbest thing you've ever believed?
this is weird, but I remember, I think I was in third or fourth grade. For some reason, I had a hard time understanding. I thought the universal language, everyone in the world spoke English. I just thought that. And this is the reason why there was logic to it, even though it sounds fucking dumb. Because I'm sitting here like thinking, I'm like, okay, if someone says something to me, what do they translate it to? So I always thought, even though they may be speaking, like, let's say someone's speaking Japanese, right? What I'm saying to them, they're translating it to in English in their head. So everyone speaks English, just how they come out, how it comes out, it sounds like their native language. And I believe that for a longer time than I'm willing to admit. And I realized, I'm like, wait, when people speak Japanese, they think in Japanese? How was that possible? I had a hard time with that. I don't know why. I just didn't understand it.
And mine are dumber. Are you ready to hear them?
Yeah.
So my first one is that I used to be devastatingly confused about like plurals, because the English language is very complicated. Now, mind you, I've only ever really spoken English, so I don't know why. But so you know how the plural of goose is what?
Geese.
What is it? Geese. So to my understanding, the plural of moose was
Meese.
meese. And the plural of and so I don't know where I got this one, but so Indiana's a very Amish culture heavy area. And so I didn't used to think that they were like the Amish or the Amish population.
Did you call them Amish?
No, they were the
Oh.
I don't know why.
I think Amish sounds cooler.
I think so too. And that's not even the worst of them. Like, so sween. Like I don't know where it came from, but I was so confused about the names of plurals of things. So like I said, swan were sween, raccoon, instead of raccoons, it was rackeen. Like I can go on and on. I don't know where it came from or why I believed it, but I did. And I believed it for a very, very long time. Or not even that I believed it. It just seemed like it was correct to me. So even if people told me otherwise, I didn't care, or I didn't agree. I just kept doing or saying what I wanted. This other one, I'm pretty sure, John, I've told you this. I might have even mentioned it on the podcast before. I don't know. I talk about it a lot because it's really embarrassing and I feel like I just need to put it out there. Until very recently, and by very recently, I mean like 7 or 8 years ago, maybe 6, maybe 5, I don't know, believed that trains were no longer a means of transportation. Like I thought they were ancient.
What?
And didn't
No, you definitely not told me that, because I would have fucking roasted your ass for that.
You did. You did
What?
roast my ass for
Did
it.
I?
Yes, I told you. Here's what I told you.
Trains?
This is how I know I told you. I told you the night after your wedding, when you went to that Korean barbecue place with the Barbie thing.
Yeah.
And then we all met at the pizza place, and you told us that you rode to New York on the train. And I was like, so funny story. I didn't even know people could travel by train for the longest time. Like I thought it was like,
What do you think
I
happened?
knew that So just to be really clear, I knew that trains existed and still were running, and that they like moved.
Like cargo?
Yeah, I knew that was a thing because I'm from fucking Indiana. I got stopped by trains every goddamn day. Okay, but I didn't know that people traveled via train. It just seems so
Archaic? Is that the word?
not even that. It
I have
seems
a problem
so
with that.
it
Like,
seems so
way too many trains.
counterproductive. It seems so slow and like
Oh, it's definitely not slow. I'll tell you what. It's
I felt like so now, mind you, the only train I had ever been on was at the zoo. But more recently,
wait,
I took a
what?
train. Yeah, that was the only like the
I'm
toy
learning a
like
lot about Emily right now.
God, I hate myself for this. Yep. So that's the dumbest thing I ever believed was that trains weren't real. But I did in last October, we took the train from London to Paris. I confirmed traveling by train is real. And it is so when someone told me that yes, trains are for real, you're an idiot, I was like, oh dang. And I imagined like a very vintage traveling experience. No. It's like
So
being on a plane, but not. Like
wait, so do you think that people still take pictures of like you know how photographers used to put that little like
box. And
yeah,
then,
like that box and that
load of
little
light
cloth over their
behind it.
head? Yeah, like a little cloth over their head. So then they would just you take a picture like that. You think people still do that?
no, that's so different.
All right,
Thought
hit
that
it.
trains were not a means of transportation for humans, but of transportation for things because they were slow and nobody cared about the things that were being transported in them. Like, okay, honestly, the only example I can think of is coal. So yeah, that.
All right, hit with the next one because
I'm moving on.
I can go on about that one.
Okay, what's your most overused phrase? I already know the answer for both of you.
For this
Really?
podcast, it would be in the sense that that's
Mhm.
mine.
And I have another one for you too, John. Do you want to hear it or do you want to move on and then I'll come back?
Mm,
Wait, what?
Go ahead. Yeah, what's the other one? Like
Your
the
other one
other phrase?
Your other one is, so what about,
Mm,
that's it. So what
yeah,
about,
that's me when I'm just like thinking. I'm like, what about that? So what about? Yeah, that makes
or
sense.
so what about,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know yours too, Sadiwa.
I think you have to tell me mine because I really don't know.
Okay, you can't get mad because I'm not making fun of you.
No, go ahead.
Yours is also as well too.
Yeah, you used to do say that a lot.
Oh yeah, I do say that.
My
Both of
favorite
us
thing
do.
about it is that you say all three like transitional statements right in a row. When you
I
can
say
just
the
say
same word
also,
in like different variations in one sentence.
yeah.
It's like writing an essay. You're like the
So yeah,
the.
so in conclusion to this, the ending of this statement.
And it's like my favorite thing. Like I love it. Every time I hear it, it like makes me giggle on the inside. And it's a really good quality. Don't let that get in your head and don't stop.
Realize I say that much.
I love it. Oh my god, I say it all the time. I love it. I've talked to John about it. I told him when I was telling him I want to like make t-shirts, I was like, I'm gonna put also as well too on all of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were gonna have t-shirts of all this like the sayings that we do say a lot, and
Yeah.
yeah.
you're supposed to have that, and mine was gonna have what was it?
In a sense.
Oh yeah,
Or
in the
June
sense
bug
that
or something.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. For someone who talks a lot, I feel like I don't have that many, but it's hard to identify on your own, I feel like. So someone else will have to tell me.
I think yours is I'm very passionate about this. You do say that a lot.
God. I
When
am
you
very
when you get into
about
something, you're like,
everything.
I'm very passionate about this, and then you
Oh
just
yeah, when she wants to basically come across as she's not like offended that you may have said something bad about it. It's like I'm just very passionate about it.
I'm obviously very passionate about this.
yeah, there you go.
Um,
Obviously, you gotta add that.
Tell me if this is right. I feel like I say no, I'm just kidding a lot, but I feel like that's more in everyday conversation.
Not
And
really.
then I also say, does that make sense?
Oh, you do say that.
All the time.
You said I don't know if you say that all the time. You did say that with like the time travel episode that we did with Stuart.
Right. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I'll explain something and then I feel like that I sound like a dumbass, so I'll just say, does that make sense? Like, was that stupid? So that's mine. Moving on from my stupidity. Okay, this is a real cool one. Not really cool. But it relates to a previous episode. So what is the weirdest food or food combination that you eat or have eaten?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm
Mine,
a pretty. No, go ahead, John.
so mine is, for those that don't know, I love fried chicken, and
Who doesn't know that?
I
For
guess
those of you who don't know, John's PSN handle is Fried Chicken John. He's the only person allowed to have that and not be racist.
and my Venmo, if you want to send some money that way, it's fried chicken connoisseur. So that kind of relates to the fried chicken John. But
I'm gonna Venmo you right now just for having that Venmo name.
okay, well,
He
make
said,
sure there's a comma in there.
okay.
Yeah, so I love chicken, fried chicken, and so sometimes I get chicken and waffles, and I like to put syrup on my chicken and hot sauce on my waffles. I like to switch it around, and it tastes a lot better.
Oh,
You should
Okay.
definitely try that.
oh,
I would be willing.
that's a situation, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good situation. I'll tell you what. It's a tasty, delightful situation.
Wait, but do you like hot sauce the waffles, syrup the chicken, and then eat together, or what?
Yeah. You kind of coat it, and then you kind of take a bite. So that way, you have to make sure that you eat it within a certain amount of time, though, because the honey will make the chicken not crunchy anymore, and it just becomes a fucking chicken tender.
Wait, honey or syrup?
Or syrup. I'm sorry, syrup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like honey would be really good too, though. I mean, I'm not the fried chicken connoisseur, so I don't know.
My research has not been conducted with honey, so that's something that we can experiment with in the future.
Okay, we'll check it out. What about you, Tadeo? What's the weirdest thing you eat?
So this is a combination of things. So
Perfect.
You really paid me.
this is a real.
Oh yeah,
weird,
I did just now. I just
That's
spent
funny.
$5
That's funny
for
shit.
being fried chicken connoisseur.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she really sent me money.
Oh wow.
That's funny.
Hey, if you're gonna plug the Venmo, God, I can't sign on to that because I feel like people are gonna expect
No,
me to pay them.
please do not send me money. If you
Expect
send me
Emily
money,
to start Venmoing them.
yeah.
Everyone send John money. Send me money too. My Venmo is EMIKEN.
Oh my god, we're all
What?
plugging.
Fried Chicken Emily.
Tadeo, Tadeo, go ahead and plug yours.
I don't even know what my Venmo is. I haven't used mine in a long time.
Well, what's your combination or your
So
food?
I like rice a lot. So this is weird. Well, how do you have an Asian guy that likes fried chicken and a black guy that likes rice? What's going on here, guys?
I think
That's
we're
why you guys are
the
best
rush
friends.
hour. The rush
Exactly.
hour is what it is.
Exactly. But I like taking rice, specifically brown rice. I put marinara sauce on it, a lot of it.
Oh,
Then I take cheese, melt it all over. Then I take sour cream and onion chips, and then kind of like crimple them, like crush them up, and then sprinkle them over like cocaine style, a little bit on the top, and then put it in the microwave.
Okay, so tell me this: when did you start doing that?
It started when so like for some reason I just know I like to take my favorite things I know taste good and just start putting them together. I'm like, this should taste good. So in my head, I'm like, if this tastes good individually, altogether it should amplify the taste, right?
Right.
So that's why, and this started back in the day when like in college I used to get like really drunk and just like put stuff together. Like I'll take noodles, for example, and then I'll put like a lot of like pieces of ham in there, and then I'll just like throw cheese in it, and then it melts together, and it's like I didn't shit myself, so this must be good. So then that just kind of continued on to different things. Even for example, like waffles, I like cheese in my waffles. I don't know why.
Sounds good. A savory
Next time.
waffle is. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
next time I see you, I need you to make this.
it tastes good. It really does. Like honestly, I enjoy it.
If
Like
I
it's one of
fucking have diarrhea, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you.
the diarrhea is never a sign. Not necessarily a sign of it tastes bad. Is that your stomach can't handle the complexity.
Mm.
So
But it is sometimes.
So you know how people have different palates? Is it
Yeah.
your stomach has a different palate for that? I guess.
I think so. My stomach can handle that, but like then I'll eat like
I
fish
think
and
it's
then
more
like
of a
shit
different
myself.
tolerance.
Mm. Well,
So the reason I
sounds
asked,
very, very sophisticated. That's why I said that instead of
sophisticated.
tolerance. Yeah.
Well, the reason I asked when you started doing that is because that seems like the most college food.
It is. It really
Like
is.
the most, I need a real ass combined cooked ass meal, but this is all I have. So I'm going to throw it together. I'm going to call it a casserole and I'm going to eat that shit.
It's made out of desperation.
There you go. There you have it. Well, mine, so I love this. And if anyone judges it, we're not friends anymore. So people obviously put like milk in their cereal, right?
Uh-oh.
So I don't put, I never put milk in my cereal. I typically will eat it dry unless I'm
What are
eating.
you, a fucking Viking?
I like dry cereal. It's like,
Okay,
A bowl of nails.
to your defense, I do like dry cereal too.
It's so
Not that I
good.
prefer it, but I mean
Like
I
the
will eat.
flavored? Are you talking about like corn flakes? Are you talking about like cinnamon toast crunch? Because I understand that. Not like dry ass fucking corn flakes.
No,
Raisin
I'm
bran.
not gonna eat like
Eating
Wheaties
raisin
with nothing.
bran.
Raisin
To be
bran cut the
fair-
roof of your mouth.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna eat Wheaties ever, but I'm never gonna eat like cornflakes with nothing. Like, but I'm definitely not gonna eat them with milk either. Like, I'm never gonna. If I'm eating cereal, I'm eating like sugary ass cereal. Like, it's like.
Oh, okay.
But the one plain cereal that I will eat is Cheerios, and I will not eat it with milk. I eat it with orange juice.
Oh, you did tell me this. Yeah.
And it is
Weird.
so fucking good. Let me tell you,
That's childhood trauma weird.
so my grandpa is the one who turned me on to this. I don't know what the situation was. I can't remember. This dude also puts ketchup on his mac and cheese, which I would never defile mac and cheese.
That seems more reasonable than orange juice.
No, I would
One.
never defile mac and cheese with ketchup.
Hmm.
But he turned me on to this. He was like, he gave me a bowl of Cheerios. He was like, "Do you need some orange juice?" I was like, "Fuck no." And he was like, "No, you gotta try it. That's how I eat it." And I was like, "You're a liar." And he started eating his orange juice or his Cheerios with orange juice, and I was like, let me get a taste of that. And let me tell you, that shit is the tastiest. I can't even. It's so good. You have to try it. Like here's the thing.
Okay.
I know it's fucking crazy. I know it is. I know it sounds nasty, but every single person who I've convinced to eat it loves it. Everyone.
All right. So here's a call of action to our listeners. Please try this and let us know what it tastes like.
Don't judge it. Don't tell us that I'm nasty. Don't tell me that I'm gross. Okay?
Okay.
That will
Don't tell
make me
her.
cry.
Tell us then.
Don't tell them either. They'll tell me, and it'll make me cry.
Definitely, like I said, yeah, definitely, because I want to try it, but I don't have any of those. I don't eat cereal at home, or I don't carry orange juice. So whenever I whenever I go to your place again, I'm definitely gonna ask for that because I want to try that now.
I'll make sure you're able to indulge. Okay, moving on. What is something someone would only know about you if they really knew you? Like, if you really knew me,
man.
you would know ...
This might get a little weird.
Okay. Wasn't supposed to, but whatever.
Someone go first because I got to figure this out.
I can, because I know mine right off the bat.
All right, good.
All right, go ahead.
If you really knew me, you would know my dream job is to be a race car driver.
I feel like
Really?
you did tell me about that.
NASCAR
Really?
style? Or like Formula
No,
1?
IndyCar. Are you insane? NASCAR. Ew, what am I, a redneck?
I don't know.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? An
I'll keep
IndyCar
it
is
ass. I'm not
like a
gonna lie for the
Formula
record.
One
I don't know either.
an IndyCar, NASCAR looks like a freaking sedan on crack. An IndyCar looks like a Formula One car, has minor differences.
Like the spaceship looking ones. Like
Yeah.
the real classy one.
I have no
Literally
clue what the
Google
hell you're
Indy
talking about.
500 and you'll find the greatest sporting event or the greatest event in racing. And like, that's what I would want to do. If I could do anything in the world, I'll be a race car driver. The only issue is it takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of time, and I have neither of those things. So I need someone. So another plug for myself. If anyone wants to donate to my Venmo, hit me up so I can buy a race car, and I'll get racing. And y'all can. Puzzled Minds will sponsor my race car. I hope. It's okay.
As long as you put our logo on the car.
Yeah, are you kidding? My
and
car
win. You have to. Well, actually, no. You know, you don't even have to win. As long as you drive that, we're good.
Yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So are we buying a race car or what?
This is pending. This is pending that.
Financially lucrative sponsorship.
Yes.
Okay, cool. We're gonna be the Puzzled Minds racing team. I can't wait. Will you guys be my pit crew?
This is the Ford versus Ferrari 2020 version. This is what it's going to be.
Oh God. Okay, someone else needs to go. I'm embarrassed.
I got a good one.
You,
This is
John,
pretty.
you would know.
No,
Well,
you go
see,
first too.
I will randomly, like, especially if I'm running, right? I randomly daydream about scenarios that if I do not finish this run, someone I care about will die, and it motivates me to finish the run.
Wait, what? Like what?
It's like, for example, like I picture scenarios. I'm like, if I don't finish this mile, I have to run to the facility that's exactly 1 mile away to save my family that's strapped to a rocket that's going to go to the moon. And I just put myself in really crazy scenarios. And for whatever reason, it always motivates me to finish what I'm doing.
Wow,
So if I'm-
wait. I can kind of relate to that, but in a weird, not relating way.
Wait, what? It's like saying, I understand that, but I don't understand it at all.
So, like the motivating yourself with the weirdest situations. When I was younger, I used to, in church, we have to kneel, if you're Catholic, for like super long periods of time and multiple times in a row. And let me tell you, I've had the knees of an 80-year-old since I was 2 years old. So it freaking hurts, okay? And I would sit there and I'd be like, God, if you want me to do this with my life, let me stick this out. Like, let me get through this. And one time I asked God for something very specific. I was like, listen, if you want me to be this when I grow up, let me stick this out. And guess what? My ass passed out. And everyone, like, I passed out in church and everyone thought I was having a seizure. I woke up and everybody had their hands on my face and they called an
I see, it's the
ambulance.
Holy Spirit.
Yep. And that was God telling me. So do you want to know what I asked for?
What?
So I used to be a really gifted, I mean, I'm sure I'm still okay at it, but I was my whole family is really into water sports, and I was a very gifted wakeboarder from a very young age. And like, that was what I wanted to do with my life. So I wanted to be a professional. I wanted to only pursue that, not go to school. Like, that's what I wanted to do all day, every day. And so that's what I was praying for on my knees. I was like, God, if I'm going to be a professional wakeboarder, like, let me make it through this mass without like leaning back on the pew or like whatever. And I was like, that's what's going to get me through, is my dream, you know? And sure enough, my ass passed out and I stopped wakeboarding. I haven't, like, that summer was the last summer that I wakeboarded. I still did it for the rest of the summer, but like I have done it for fun occasionally, but like I haven't focused on it. I haven't tried to develop in it anymore because I knew that wasn't my path. I don't know.
So mine is, I like to like think about a lot of things just in my head. And I think of a lot of like, you know, what if this is a conspiracy theory? Like I'm like, you know, for instance, I was thinking like, what if, for instance, like the Joe Biden, like having Kamala Harris as his vice president, what if that's the DNC's way of having the first female president? Just shit like that. That I'm always into like thinking of something like, what if that's the like a conspiracy theory essentially?
That's so John.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like
my
everything's
brain.
conspiracy.
Well, I don't want to say that because I don't want to sound fucking crazy, but
No, that's not crazy. I feel like the crazy people are the ones who think that conspiracies can't exist. Like,
yeah, well, that also, but I think it's just more so of just my mind is always racing because I'm always thinking about something. So if you don't know, now you know.
Okay. Next, if you had to kill one person to survive, who would you kill?
Damn.
You don't have to use their name, but just like describe your relationship to them, maybe, because I can understand if it's personal, you don't want to share.
Honestly, I don't even know how to answer that question. Like, would it have to be someone who's like a dictator? Is that like a plausible answer?
No, that's fair. That's not a cop out.
Yeah, I'm without even thinking, I'm just gonna go with a dictator.
Mine is someone who is deathly ill, who needs to be put out of their misery, or who's asking me to take off life support. While I don't believe in that because of my religion, I like that is if I had to kill someone to survive, and like now mind you, I of course if I had to kill someone to survive, the ideal answer as a Catholic and a good person would be myself, because, you know, then everyone wins and I don't survive, but whatever, I'm a good person. But I would say someone who's on death row or someone who's on life support, who's asking to be taken off life support, you know, like, which I feel like is a cop out, but I feel like it's also just a smart answer.
I think that's an acceptable answer. What about you, Tadiwa?
Wait, so repeat the question again.
If you had to kill one person to be able to survive, who would you kill?
Like, is this anybody?
Yeah, anyone. We're both like, oh, I can't kill anyone. I'm gonna kill someone who deserves it. Tadee was like, can I kill anyone I want?
I will just go for a dictator. I'll just be like the worst person in the world right now. I'll just go for a dictator or like a member of ISIS.
Okay, that's a good one. That's fair.
Yeah.
I thought this would be
I think I
spicy.
said that way too calmly. Might need therapy.
I thought that would be way spicier, but this one might be a little more caliente. Okay, so no names, but the person you hate more than anyone in the world. Why do you hate them? No names.
That's for me at least. That's a question that I can't really answer. Not because I don't want to name anyone, it's just because I don't really hate anyone anymore. Like,
God, we're too nice. What the fuck?
well, it's not even
Get
that. It's
married to
just
get
like,
soft.
no, it's just I don't like. There's not really anyone that I really really hate. Like, I don't, as adult as this sounds, like I don't have the time and energy to hate someone. Like,
I get what you're
I'm too
saying.
busy.
I
Yeah, because
respect that,
there's
but
a lot
like,
of energy that requires to hate.
Yeah,
Like,
like
I
I
don't
don't.
actively hate anyone, but if I could go back to like my life where this person was really fucking up my life, like I hated them. And like right now it's like I just pity them, you know? Like I don't have the energy or the time to like really care what their life is up to. But like I feel like everyone has that one person that was like that like if their name comes up it's like fuck you.
I mean, I feel like when I was younger, like I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, like I would have had a name like on the spot. But now, like I said, I don't know. The adult me is saying I don't have time for that. I got this. I got some other stuff to worry about. Like I pay you
Okay,
no
that's
mind.
really mature of you. Good for you.
Probably not the spicy answer that you wanted, but I don't fucking
Good
care.
for you, Dick.
Yeah, I'm kind of in John's boat where I think at a time I did hate. I guess I can say like I've hated someone before, like at a
Mhm.
specific time, but like currently right now, I don't
Like
hate
I don't have the
anyone.
energy for it.
Yeah, like it's really about the
I'm
energy.
the
'Cause when you
same.
hate
I'm the
someone,
same way, but the people who you did at a time. My question was why. So like, what's your reason for the most recent person you've hated?
I think I was manipulated. Like I was like I wasn't really dating someone, but we had like a weird in between fling and relationship going on, and I got like played pretty hard. But it was like the specifics of how I got played made me hate that person for like a extended period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's how it happened for me.
Okay. What about you, John?
Mm,
John's like, I'm too nice. I don't hate anyone.
oh no! If you would, like I said, if you would have asked me this when I was younger and I didn't have the mindset that I have now, oh dude, I would have went off. I don't. I guess we'll just go with lying. Let's just leave it at that.
I feel like lying's a trend this evening.
Yes.
Mine,
Lying.
I know for damn sure right away. It's this bitch I used to work with who's just a horrendous human being. I don't have the energy to think about or care about her really anymore. Like if I had to interact with her still, I can confidently say that I'm not mature enough like you guys to not actively hate her. But right now it's like she's not in my life and I know that God, this is so evil. I know that I'm better than her, so it's like doesn't matter to me anymore.
Hmm.
But I talked to you guys about this girl actually after the last episode I was on. This is the girl who like tried to make me feel bad about having a serious health concern that caused me to lose a ton of
Oh
weight,
yeah.
be really unhealthy. She also tried to get me fired. She also threw me under the bus regularly. She talked mad shit about me. She ruined tons of my friendships. So like this girl, I actively hate
Hey,
it.
you got beef with Thanos? Damn.
I feel like girls have more active grudges and hatred because girls are more mean. Like I feel like guys are just like, "Hey, fuck you, and like that's it. Like a guy, I feel like guys don't have the energy or the capacity or the will to go after another guy, and this girl would just not let up on me. And so like that really resonated with me and I couldn't let it go for a really long time. And now I look back and I'm like, this girl's super insecure and she hates herself, you know? So it's easier for me to be like, I don't care about you anymore, but damn, I hated her. I hated her. And I think that hate is an even stronger word than love. So like, I think that that's like, it really means something to hate somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Which
No,
is why I totally understand that like people, it would be hard for me to have the capacity to hate someone in my current life. And I think that if I were to interact with her now, it would be more of like a pity than a hate. You know?
Yeah. No, I can see the pity.
I just sound like a bitch. God, sorry.
I hate this person forever and hope they die, bro.
Okay, I'm moving on. If
All
there
right.
were no consequences for your actions, what is the first thing you would do?
I'm robbing a bank.
I think we had talked about this. Maybe it was just me and Tadiwa like on a separate conversation, or I might have been with like another episode that we did.
Oh,
But
I get it. You're having conversations without me. Fine.
Yeah, it was exclusively. I think it was just. I think I would say the same thing too. Like I just, that's the quickest and best thing to do. Like just rob a bank. That's obviously we would need your help, with your previous qualifications. I think that you'd be best suited for that. So
burying the cell phones. I think I would be too. I would make an excellent criminal. But I would not rob a bank. I would not do anything criminal, actually, if there were no consequences. God, I hate myself for this. Ugh. If there were no consequences, the first thing I would do is eat everything. Everything I wanted. I would eat all the food and just not be bad.
Wait. Okay, I'm confused. Wait, what was the question again?
If there are no consequences, what's the first thing you would do? The first thing
so you would eat, but you just
I would eat whatever I wanted without the consequence of gaining weight.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that shows what type of people Tadeo and I are. I think we're wanting to get the money and
Straight up criminals.
Yeah.
I think it shows which of the 7 deadly sins you identify with. For me, gluttony.
Gluttony. For me, it is greed.
Yeah.
Which can go kind of hand in hand. So whatever.
Let's do the user submitted ones now.
Yeah, please. I'm out of questions.
All right. So the first one is from David. So shout out David. He had said, if AI is born of humanity, can they evolve to have consciousness?
Wait, what? Say it again?
If AI is born of humanity, like it's man-made, can they form consciousness?
Like be self-aware that.
Yeah.
I honestly do think it's possible.
I do too.
I honestly do think it's possible because I just look at the human brain as a bioorganic computer. Like computers, only difference between computers and us is that the computers have like limitless processing power. We technically have limited processing power. So I think that if you were to get something that functions similarly like our brain does, it could be self-aware. It could eventually develop, like be aware that it's a machine.
Yeah, so I had thought about this and I said that what if, if it's man-made, we're feeding it stimuli and it takes in whatever we give and whatever the environment gives. So I was like, but you can't have like ethics and morality develop in an AI. Does that make sense?
Or like emotions?
Like AI is not, I don't personally think that AI can develop ethics and morality.
I think it can, man. Like because you're looking at it from a standpoint. That's the one interesting thing about human beings. We look at certain things about ourselves like we're the only beings that are capable of possessing them, right? Like emotions are simply just a series of like actions and things that your brain processes. If you look at everything as something the way your brain processes it, a machine can do the same thing.
But that's more efficiently.
Yeah, more. If anything, I honestly do think like the way AI would be created is the hard process. It will take a long time for it to get to that point. But I do think that AI, if you can get something that is like half as smart as us, it could probably eventually develop a lot quicker than us. Because you think about it, the internet is what would be their intelligence.
Yeah.
Limitless
It's
information.
limitless. Yeah, that
Your
makes sense.
brain has a limit to what it can learn. I can show you everything on the internet, and you can't learn everything on the internet. But what if your brain is the internet? Like, think about, like, as dumb as this sounds, like Avengers, Age of Ultron. The reason why he was such a beast was because his brain was the internet. He could access every single thing. And then think about something like that. You don't think that thing would become more intelligent and more, all that stuff? Like, it would happen eventually.
So I feel like it might not be so much that they're having emotions or they're having that kind of capacity as they're understanding that we do. And they're understanding how to manipulate it.
True. Have you guys seen that movie, Ex Machina?
I still need to.
Oh my God, it's such a horror film. They're like, if you see the way that movie ends, you'll realize that emotions are things that can be manipulated. Emotions aren't like completely on like random and stuff like that. You realize that human beings are a little bit more one-dimensional than you think.
So I'm just gonna go with. I did not think that they could develop ethics and morality, but I guess they can.
I think they can understand, and again, I think it all comes down to manipulation.
Yeah.
So the next question is from Monique. So shout out Monique, who was on the podcast earlier. Is the S or C in scent silent?
Wait, what?
Is the S or C in scent, SCENT, is that silent? Which one of those is silent?
Oh, what? Oh, fucking hell.
Motherfucker, both.
I think it's the C.
C, yeah. It's not
No, but think of scent as in coin.
Shit.
It's not, yeah, because that's Skent. And it's not Kent.
This is why the English language is so fucking weird. This is why I thought the plural of moose was meese. Okay?
All right, so let's
go
just
with C.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with C for no fucking reason. Let's just go with C.
I think
so. So this next one is from Panda Martin. So shout out Panda Martin. Is a male G-spot an asshole? And are we too afraid to find out?
I am in belief that it is.
I thought I heard someone say that it wasn't, but
it's actually proven. It's like you have, it's because of the nerve endings in there.
I thought I heard it from another podcast, like a big one, but I think it is too.
Is the male G-spot an asshole?
In the asshole, yeah. I thought it wasn't.
Oh my God, it totally is. Sorry, but speaking from experience without having to be embarrassed by like personal sexual arousal, like it totally is.
This is how it's be. That's why dudes just don't want to admit it. Like anything entering that.
Absolutely. Guys don't want to admit that. No. But it so is.
I thought I swear, and I'll have to find it, but I thought that they proved that it wasn't. But it might have been just Andrew Schultz just bullshitting. So I don't know.
Yeah. Probably just angry. He's like, I like it.
The next one is from Jay. So shout out Jay. He was also on the podcast previously. Would you rather be in a PC like Tron or be shrunk to 1/4 inch tall?
Wait, a PC what?
Like into like a PC, like you live in a PC.
Oh, I'd rather be a 1/4 inch tall.
1/4 inch tall. Like in real life, like I'm living my normal life right now, but I'm just a 1/4 inch tall.
So I asked him what he meant by that. He said like kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I'd rather live in a PC. You get killed by anything if you're a 1/4 inch tall in this world.
I would
think about an ant when he just dropped water on it. That guy sees like the entire ocean coming. He's like, oh God, I wouldn't want to die like that. Like that's terrible. I would be.
I'm going with Tron, but like when you put it like that, shrinking it, anything can kill you. Like
everything is dangerous, dude.
Like a leaf.
I'd like to feel like someone likes me enough or recognizes that happened to me that they'd create a tiny little environment for me.
Yeah, no. People step on bugs all the time. They don't even care.
I'm not a bug.
Yeah, but that's something that small. I feel like people think they're bugs.
You wouldn't be able to notice that someone like 1/2 centimeter was a person. Like you wouldn't at least look at that and be like, what kind of bug is that? Until you realized it was a human.
I think I'm just thinking that someone who's 1/4 of an inch would like live in the grass. So I assume that like that's what it would be.
Okay.
The
I'm
next
just assuming
one,
that I would wake up that way one day,
and you're in your
and that my
bed.
boyfriend would be looking for me.
Mm,
Who am I
but they
kidding?
couldn't find you.
He would never be looking for me. If he woke up and I wasn't in bed one day, he'd be like, "Holla freaking Luya."
Um, the next one is this is I've recently got this one today, which is really interesting. It's from Lovecraft, the user Lovecraft Country dash some nobodies. So if I pushed that up, I'm sorry. Why is having sex with a robot not futuristic necrophilia?
Well,
Wait,
because
what?
necrophilia deal with a dead you. I think necrophilia is a dead dead organism, right?
Yeah, it's
It
like
has to do with
the
like it being
eating
deceased.
of dead, um, a dead carcass. I think.
Yeah, like it has to deal with it like it was once alive and your attraction to it is that it's now dead. Versus like a robot where a robot is you're not necessarily attracted to it not being alive. It's just more like I guess that's
What
just
if
your thing.
what if this is saying that like we were human and we become robots, so we're technically dead, but we're robots?
I mean, if you're a robot, if you become a robot, it doesn't mean you're dead. You just change into a different life form.
Hmm.
These questions are way better than mine. Why didn't we start this? Oh.
The next one, I'm gonna have to decipher this because the way it sounds, it's a good question. So a Venus flytrap, it eats bugs, right?
Yep.
So if that plant produces a fruit, it'd be made of protein and meat. So is that vegan?
Ah, who asked this
Technically,
question?
yeah.
That same person.
I would say yeah, right?
I don't know, dude. When
I would say
I had to
no.
decipher that.
When are we inviting this? When are you going to invite this person on the podcast? I
Uh,
like them.
as soon as possible. I will definitely. I have to listen to their podcast, so I said I was going to, but I just didn't have time today. So I will listen to them, and I think they have a very unique mind. So, um, you have earned our respect. Lovecraft Country, somebody, nobodies, or some nobodies. Um, so yeah,
Just let me
to
know
answer
your
that
creative
question.
director will reach right out.
To that question, to not skip over it, I'm gonna have to say it's. I,
It's up to interpretation. Like, I feel like vegan, while it's not so much a dietary restriction or a practice, it's more of a lifestyle. I feel like people kind of create their own parameters as much as it may or may not be true veganism.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like it comes down to it being a choice. For me, that wouldn't be vegan. Like, I don't know.
Final answer. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with not, just because, and this is all. This is like
Bro
no.
science.
Yeah, this is all bro science, but the bugs are being used to make food.
Wait, I've changed my mind. Can I tell you why?
Yeah.
So, God, this is going to sound so terrible. Animal feces or animal remains are often used as fertilizers to grow
Mm-hmm.
vegetables, foods. Like, how is that not the same thing?
I think you
True.
just offended the vegan community with one simple trick.
Oh my God, I'm canceled.
This next one is from Barry, so shout out Barry. He said, "Would you rather sit on a dick and eat a cake, or sit on a cake and eat a dick?"
What? Oh, it's a bad situation.
I'm gonna
I'm a
go
girl. I'd
with.
rather sit on a dick and eat a cake.
I guess I'm unfortunately I'm going to go with Emily's choice. All right, I guess
Sit on a
I'm
dick
about
and
to
eat a
go on the
cake.
spectrum.
I might have to do the latter. Sit on a cake and eat a dick.
Wait, why would you sit on a cake? You get no reward.
Oh, wait, yeah, never mind. No, let me flip that.
Now, John, if that's your lifestyle, bro, we don't
Here's the
judge, man.
thing.
Go ahead and eat that
Here's
dick,
the
dog.
thing. Sitting on a dick doesn't necessarily mean the dick has been
Has been
inserted in
penetrated.
you.
Oh, yes.
Whereas you're eating the cake either way. Sitting on a cake, you have to clean yourself up, and
Wait,
then you also
okay.
have to eat a dick. Like, I'm sorry, but
But you're also assuming that we're talking about dicks. What if you're talking about a guy named Dick?
You know what, John? Stop trying to get out of this, bro.
does he have either way? A guy named Dick, does he have a dick?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that that he's hard. It just means that his name is Dick. Like Richard.
John,
His name is
John,
Richard.
we
but
never
he's
said
Dick.
anything about the dick being hard.
Oh, okay.
Makes it less good, bro. What the?
Here's the main point: is I'm eating cake. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
But by your argument, you could also argue that cake means ass. So.
Oh. Okay.
I feel like we're just trying to make this more elaborate than the question.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably did.
There's no way that Barry had the same thought process that we're all having.
No, he did not. No, it was just a random.
He just threw it out there.
Yeah. So this one is from Dave, who was also on the podcast previously, and also Dave or on Barry. I'm sorry. So this is more so for you and I to do it because I don't think Emily has watched this anime. So if Naruto fucks this sexy no jutsu shadow clone, is it gay, masturbation, or incest?
All three.
You know what? It has to be some form of masturbation because he's banging himself.
Yeah. I can't remember the logic that
like
I had talked
the question
with.
that say if you suck your own dick, is it gay?
Yes.
I think
Is it? It's you.
I think it's masturbation. Yeah, because you're not having sex with a family member, which we would say is incest. And I don't think it's gay because he's fucking a girl. You know?
Wait, what? You're right. I can't answer this. I don't know it.
Yeah. I think
I like how Emily still tried, though. I appreciate that effort, though, Emily.
I think it's masturbation. So we'll go with my final answer is masturbation.
My final answer is all three, and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Okay. So the next question is from Cold Callers Comedy. They're another podcast, and they're pretty funny, so check them out. Their question was Stephen Hawking faking the whole time?
And why would you fake that?
That's the question that they asked. So I'm gonna go with.
If he was, like, what was the point, dude?
Is there a theory about that? I need to look this up.
I don't know.
I don't know why you would. I'm going to say no.
I don't know either. If there is a theory, I need to look into it, but I don't. I'm gonna hit him with a no, not faking, and I don't know why you would. Like, what was the benefit of it? But
wait, so I just looked this up, and here's what I found. Stephen Hawking turned 76 last Monday, or did he? A conspiracy theory claims that the renowned physicist was replaced with a lookalike around 30 years ago who has been impersonating the professor ever since. What the fuck? Does that relate, or is that a totally different conspiracy?
I didn't even know about that one, but I'm gonna have to text them and be like, wait, is this what you were referring to? Because I don't know. I've never heard of that.
That's crazy. I never even thought about it because who would do such a thing?
Yeah, because I don't think
anyone would
question it. Yeah.
And why would he need to be replaced? Like, I don't know.
Well, I'll have to look more into that one. All right. Let's end this with a speed round because I don't know how fucking long we've been talking. So
I'm sorry, my questions took forever.
No, you're good. So these are ones that Fiona had submitted. And so we're just going to go down the line. There's a lot of them, but maybe we can go through a good bit of them. Last thing that you Googled.
Oh God, Stephen Hawking.
For me, it was something to do with God of High School.
I think most recent thing mine was David Blaine in the New England Journal of Medicine, because he was published in there for fasting for like 44 days. And then I looked it up to make sure it was true. And yeah, it actually was.
How the hell?
Okay, my actual most recent one. Have you guys seen Love is Blind?
No, I haven't.
It's like a Netflix series. So I Googled one of the guys who got totally dicked over on the show. I said, did Mark Cuevas find love?
I don't know who that is, but
just one of the guys who got fucked over by some chick on the show.
What kind of ice cream best describes you? I know your answer, Emily. I think you told me that. I think it was kind of funny. Mine is mint chocolate chip, and for no reason, just because I like it.
Mine
That's
is
literally my only reason.
mine is a half melted ice cream cone dropped in the sand on the beach.
And I love
Dark,
that answer.
oddly dark. I'm just gonna go with chocolate as a token black man.
I
um,
think mine speaks really true to myself and
hmm.
read into it as much as you have to. I'm a sad human.
What's your celeb crush or your weirdest celeb crush? And mine is Aubrey Plaza because I think
Oh,
she's sarcastic as fuck and I love
dude,
it.
that was a good one.
Sexy.
I forgot about her. I used to be really into Aubrey Plaza. I was like scared of her, but it
Yeah.
also aroused me that I was scared.
Is her or like Olivia Munn? They're
Wait,
like,
I don't know who either of those people are. Am I
Olivia Munn used to be a good one,
yeah,
but she got real Hollywood.
yeah.
She's the girl. Well, Olivia Munn is. Did you ever watch? What was?
G4.
Yeah, G4 Tech Show. By the way, it's coming back.
Is it really? Dope.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to tune
Well,
into that.
for me, this is a weird one, but Elodie Young, the girl that played Elektra in the latest Daredevil series,
Mm,
like to me, she's just like, whoa. I was
I can
like,
I can see that.
make my pants feel funny, ma'am.
Okay, I think mine is Aaron Paul, but not as Aaron Paul. Like I am seriously obnoxiously
The
attracted.
Breaking Bad guy.
Yeah, I am like
Yeah, I
so
can see that.
Oh,
emotionally
Aaron Paul.
attached to Jesse Pinkman because he's so troubled and I just want to help him. I just love him so much.
Like that
So it's not
wounded
even
soul.
Aaron Paul, it's more Jesse Pinkman.
Mm,
But
science.
I am so weirdly and in an unhealthy way attracted to Aaron Paul.
Okay, that's
That's
respectable.
my answer.
Yeah. She had said, "Do guys in relationships masturbate and watch porn?" That's a definite
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
Yeah. We actually had a side conversation, not to drag on to this,
Mhm.
but maybe we can just have a little teaser, I guess. But you know, this Titi had asked the question: if you are in a relationship and you're about to cheat, but you masturbate, is that still cheating? I don't want to go too much into it because
No, we talked about this in the first ever episode I was on. And I don't think it's
oh,
I
did
don't
we?
think it's necessarily
Oh,
cheating.
then we did shit. I don't know.
I think the problem arises when you're participating in masturbation more frequently than you're interacting sexually or having intercourse with the person you're in a relationship with. I think that's where the problem is. Like if
Yeah.
you're more interested in playing with yourself than you are in having sex with the person you're with, like that's so unhealthy. It's so wrong. Like I feel like that's such a problem. Like that's a huge red flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that we had, I can't remember what Tadeo and I had mentioned about this, but it was a really good question, and I was like, it's a very spicy one, so we'll save that one. Or if we did talk about it, I don't remember about it. So
We're gonna you guys should do an episode. I said we do an episode. M is for masturbation.
just different forms, different types, and
techniques.
yeah.
Okay, I just want to
You
say
said
I'm not gonna create any social media posts for that episode.
Best and worst purchase you made.
That I bought a $250 statue of Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, and then I broke it immediately.
So
when
is
I was
that
trying
best
to-
and worst?
Yeah, it was unnecessarily expensive. And even I knew as I was buying, I was like, I don't need a $250 version.
Best purchase. Well, let me start with worst. Worst purchase I've ever made was I just bought a KitchenAid, which if you don't know is expensive for a small kitchen appliance, and it is currently lost, and I don't know if I'm going to get a replacement or my money back. So I'm really upset about that because I love to cook and I was very excited about it. But my best purchase that I've ever made is a really sweet and sappy one. Best purchase I ever made was I paid for a moving truck to move in with my boyfriend, who I love so much. Aww.
Get a little. We changed from dark to lovey dovey, boy. So shout out. My worst. Okay, let me go start with my best. My best purchase was probably Levi.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Shout out Leaves. Um,
I gave him that nickname, just saying.
yeah, you did. Levi. And my worst purchase was probably I went to New York 1 year. I can't remember what year it was, and I ended up dropping like $800 on some pair of Jordans that I don't even
Oh
really wear that
wow.
much anymore.
Oh
But I
wow.
Eight
really
That's
hundred
wanted it.
rent.
dollars.
Yeah,
That's
$800.
rent
Okay,
money,
John, let
boy.
me just tell you, I'm really proud because as soon as I heard you say I went to New York, I was like, if he says anything, a single damn thing about his wedding weekend in New York,
No,
he's canceled. And I will personally make sure he's canceled. I was like, hell no.
no. This was many years before I got married there, but yeah, it was like $800 pair of shoes, and I was like, I don't
Were
really
they
want.
authentic?
They were from 2009. Yeah, I think they were 2009 Space Jams. So
Space Jam.
yeah. Oh, well, there you go then. The Space Jams. Um, Last one. I guess we'll end this on a wild note. Is it weird for a woman to propose to a man?
Mm,
I don't think so, but
I think it's
society standards say no. Say it is, I mean.
I don't think it's weird. My personal preference is to not do that, but I feel like
mhm.
I don't think it's I don't know. I feel like these days women can be anything. And if that thing is the person who in the relationship who proposes, then more power to them. But personally, it's not something I would want to, or I don't think I'd ever be capable of doing just because, I don't know. I need love. I need someone else to ask me to marry them.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. While I don't prefer it, I don't. If you want to do it, that's fine. Like,
Like if
you
I
know,
knew someone else who did it, I would be like, good for you.
yeah,
Like
no,
that's
yeah,
so
I
cool.
agree.
So
Yeah, I think,
empowered.
yeah, 100% agree.
Like what a cool
Um,
story.
so that one, I don't know how long we've been talking for. Maybe an hour 15. I don't know, whatever the hell it was. If you have made it this far, thank you. Um, I'm, I'm very
I
surprised.
ruined this episode with all my obnoxious questions.
um, so yeah, like I said, if you've listened this far, thank you. I hope that you have smashed that like button, that follow button, and definitely not that unfollow button. So follow us on our social media platforms: Instagram at Puzzle Minds Podcast, and our Twitter is Puzzle Minds Pod, and our Puzzle Minds Podcast Gmail. I don't know why I said Gmail. Just send an email to that email, puzzlemindspodcast at gmail.com, where we do encourage everyone to submit a topic, whether that be um, anything that you would like us to hear about. And last but not least, thank you, official block of the week, for the weekly Instagram cover artwork that you do. It's very amazing. And we've gotten positive responses about that. So thank you again for all the time and effort that you do put into that. And other than that, everyone stay puzzled.